Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. In the last episode we slept on this particularly nasty looking bed and had a particularly nasty nightmare about our ex-girlfriend, wife. Not a pleasant place to be. I think now our job is to comb the island, and I'm guessing to do that I have to go down here because the dream kind of showed me that I could go underneath this walkway. And I don't know if we're gonna find the killer. This great blast door must weigh over 10 tons. Rust peels off it.
You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one, a heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small.
What's on the other side?
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable.
How do we open this?
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He looks at the door, then at its bigger brother, then at the lock.
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
You're right. We opened the big one. Do you see controls anywhere?
I think there's a console just southeast. Let's look around. Getting the blast door open seems like the best plan.
Southeast, huh? Oh wait, there's... Wait. I just realized I've been pressing control to highlight things for some reason. I don't know why. I should be pressing tab. Ooh, money. Magnesium. Magnesium. There's stuff up here that I just didn't interact with. Whoa, terrible. Oh my god, it's the foul Arrower shirt.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized.
Let's sift through them.
Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures. Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Lieutenant inspects a softcover. You have an 8% chance. I'm going to try.
Not that you can tell. This is a digest of someone who's dead bored. Most of it is for entertainment purposes. Fittingly right next to the radiola on the floor.
Nothing? Nothing out of the ordinary?
Maybe it's a little old-fashioned. There's a nude mag. More than that, you can't say.
Never mind. There's something up here as well. Let's steal this man's clothes. Army surplus winter scarf. What an awesome looking scarf. Now let's look at the Faun shirt first. The Faun training shirt has seen one wash too many. It retains its unusual design, one sleeve short, the other long, but little of its original colours. A giant F swooshes across its chest, now in grey. This towery old scarf itches when wrapped around the neck. It has humanitarian aid written all over it, yet you know that thousands all over the Isola are suffering the same fate as you, the fate of uncomfortable army surplus scarves. -1 composure. Sucks to be poor. Does it look good? Oh, it does look pretty good, but it's no necktie. I'm going to stick with the necktie. Very important. I should probably put on, like, a shirt of some description. Oh, maybe the one that gives me conceptualization. A bit late now, but hey ho.
Why does art inspire you so much?
It does, yes, but what is art? No, art is for arrogant blowhards. Why am I getting this?
Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, art is the highest form of human communication. representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
Would I fit into the art world? I mean...
Have you looked in the mirror lately? To be honest, you have the exact features of the modern artist, with that wild hair and those clothes. Perhaps you should try to write poetry someday, and critique architecture.
Hold on, is architecture also art?
Of course not. It's autism, box drawing, masturbation with a ruler and a sextant or whatever they use. You should demean and criticize the genteel institution of architecture while extolling the virtues of the pure arts.
Wait, what about music? Is that art?
Only the most experimental kind.
I guess I have been feeling critical lately.
Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
I'm not becoming the art cop. I cannot risk another copo diversion at this point. Go away.
Bravo. Continue, then, the mediocre and vulgar epigones of the world. So what if everything is incomprehensibly shit and you can see it? Take no responsibility.
That's how I live my real life. Alright, I think we've looked at everything up here. What is this?
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Pour fuel into the tank? Where do these wires lead? What kind of generator is this? Let's go with... What kind of generator is this?
Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout.
He points to the open fuel cap on the side of the dynamo.
The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter, long and cold.
If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator.
Can we pour fuel into the tank?
The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch.
Pull the rope.
The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
Where do these wires lead?
Downstairs, somewhere.
Let's tap on the side.
The tank is far from full, but there should be enough inside to keep it going for a day.
Let's leave. Oh god, is that a noise I'm going to have to listen to now? Oh boy. I don't think that's going to allow us to open the door, but I'm sure these wires are going to lead somewhere. But let's go find out. Assuming it's these?
Green paint flakes off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
What's this then?
The console of an antique computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here.
Could this open the blast door?
I think, yes. Let's see. That one. The emergency open.
Bush light interior. Why would I want to turn the lights off? Slide radio dial. Alright, turn emergency open.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
Oh, blimey. That's a very big door.
After you.
What's there? Point to the door.
I don't know.
What if we get into another fight?
Don't worry. I have a gun.
He takes out his sidearm, checks the barrel, and holster it again. I also have a gun.
It was not easy to acquire.
Alright, let's go. I feel like I should have done the other things first. What's this? This hatch is jammed shut. I want to know what's outside this door first. I'm going to take a look. A firing slit. I can't see inside. It must have been a direct hit to take out such a huge chunk. Right, over here was where the chain was? Something tells me we're not going to be walking across the water this time, but I'm curious to see if there is something here. The winch is broken. Rust has eaten what remains of the chain.
A strange feeling looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all and walk in.
Let's raise our sight.
In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. Go. Step in. It's been too long.
Why?
Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you, where it has always been.
But it's cold.
Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth.
No, 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 no.
Yes, 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 yes.
Shake our head. Okay, so there was nothing here, but it was worth looking. Let's go through the blast door. Maybe I should get my gun out. Maybe I could actually fire my gun. Oh, there was something on the roof. Damn it. What's that? I can get up there. Take a while. Yeah, there's like a ramp here. The inside of the fortress. You can make out the console. Oh, I sneezed. You can make out the console and something else, but that was a very ill-timed sneeze. The depot that supplied this chain is long gone from the coast. A weathered artillery map showing coordinates in the Bay of Revachol. An old medicine cabinet newly stocked with duramine. Can I take that? Thanks. Oh, a fuel canister. Oh, I forgot. I was carrying around that fuel canister this whole time.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
Is this where the shot came from?
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
The lieutenant lowers his voice, stepping closer with his hand on his gun. Inspect the mattress.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns. And an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
Pick one out of the can.
The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri.
Someone's been smoking here.
The smoker's a clean person. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside. Keeps it tidy. Prefers to come out here to smoke.
Let's inspect the wall.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Touch the concrete first.
Quite old and grimy, from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain.
Let's look through the hole in the concrete.
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation, a tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water, the ruins look familiar.
On the left?
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B.
On the right?
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling in rags. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10. The doomed commercial area.
And between the two?
The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop, sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
There it is.
Do you have a line of sight to the window?
Yeah, there's an opening between 33A and 10. I can see the roof.
I can see it. Through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure. I think we have it. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
He pats you on the back. 3 small pats in a row. Oh, better late than never.
Nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere.
You're right.
He looks north, over the fortification, then at the mattress. He's conflicted for a second. There's guilt there. It takes him a moment to rationalize it away.
Could the shooter still be here?
Where?
On this island.
He does not answer, just nods. With his back hunched, he looks around once more and says,
We should move now.
Let's turn away.
Wasteland of reality. Congrats, you're sober. It will take a while for your body to remember how to metabolize anything that isn't sugar from alcohol. So you're going to be pretty ravenous soon. Eat plenty. You can expect your coordination and balance to improve in a couple of weeks. In 2 months, you might start sleeping like a normal person. Full recovery will take years though. It'll be depressing, and it'll be boring. Don't expect any further rewards or hand claps. This is how normal people are all the time.
Oh my god. What bonuses do we get? Oh my god, -1 physical instrument? I can't be even weaker. -1 Inland Empire, sober. -1 suggestion, boring. But we got +1 psyche. But we don't get positive effects from alcohol anymore. Oh my god. I don't think Wasteland of Reality was worth doing. But hey ho. Let's go see what's through those blast doors, shall we? At least we found the sniper's nest. You feel eyes on your back. Someone's watching, but you can't say where. What do I pick up that makes this... Oh, the fuel oil, of course. Yeah, no, we picked up oil, fuel, like episodes and episodes and episodes ago, and I just didn't even think twice. I don't want to get my gun out. Water rushes below. Ah, down below. Can I put the other fuel into this generator? I mean, I don't think it's going to matter, but I'm just curious.
This old cylindrical... The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder, and a start rope on the other side.
Is it not already on?
Flicks the switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
The tank is far from full.
Okay, it didn't make a difference. I thought it might fill the tank up. It was a weird curiosity. Okay, the tank outside must be if you forgot. Walk slow. It might be dangerous. Alright, let me get my gun out. I haven't shot anyone this whole time, so if there is a time to shoot someone, the time is now. Oops, pressed all the wrong buttons, huh? There's a hole in the wall. We know whoever it is still has his rifle because we haven't found it anywhere. So he's the kind of person, or she, I should say, they. I don't know who it is. They must still have it with them. Small white flowers blossom all around you. A rubber dinghy. It's deflated. Broken. Well, there's the rifle. Well, he's not brandishing it, so now I feel guilty for having my gun out. Oh, but he is holding a gun, which is probably enough reason to have a gun out, right? I'm going to quick save just in case this is a bad idea. Hello, friend.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth,
Charming.
then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
Are you the fire guy?
The what now? I can't hear you.
Did you recently tell 2 kids to put out their fire? 2 twins?
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position.
The position sounds like a hiding place.
Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
I fueled the generator and then used the console.
I should have burned that console down.
He shakes his head. How did you know I was coming?
The boat engine. On the water.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a Belmar grave?
It's a 3-Angong 446.
A samurai rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
The Sinyao commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk, white from the ball.
His gaze turns inward. Sir, I need you to put down that gun so we can talk further. We're with the police. And with the police, you can keep the gun, but keep it down. Not one move. Let's go with that. I'm gonna let him keep his gun.
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The lieutenant aims his pistol square at the man's head and says,
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down carelessly and looks at it lying there. I'm going to pick up the gun lying in the sand.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stopped and patched in places with tape and wire.
Inspect it closer.
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangong, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
It's as he said. It's a Trigon made in Sinyao.
Worn. Personalized even. Looks like this weapon has seen a lot of use, hasn't it, sir?
No response from the old man. The plastic cape around his shoulders rustles in a small bout of wind.
This uses jacketed ammunition, 4.46.
Jacketed. Military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight. Good for hitting something that's very, very far away.
He says, mostly to the old man.
As he speaks, he stresses every word. He's liking this.
Stow the gun.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
So who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross. Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
His eyes turn to the reeds again, dead and dull.
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
You've been on this island for 43 years?
No. I've been on other islands too.
Oh my god.
I was in a resurrection until they turned it into a spa in '18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
That's the length of my entire life.
It's too long. It's not how a human being should live. But I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
He looks across the water.
2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects giant letters across the plaza mosaic in dark red government-marked heavy fuel oil. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smelling of petroleum. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
The old man turns his eyes from the shore and back to you. For what?
For her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution.
I come from there, point to the mainland, and I can assure you that that is not what the people are planning. I've been there. The city is a tinderbox. It may still happen. I've seen it. Shake your head. Capital is too powerful. The rich are very well organized. Or women will always betray you. Let's go with that. I can assure you that is not what the people are planning.
I am not a fool. I know. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind. The historic opportunity for our revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
You said you deserted your unit.
I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
A lapse of faith?
You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took
For what?
for reaction to take hold.
What's reaction?
Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men.
It wasn't reaction, you were just afraid.
It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible not to be afraid.
And this was when?
The lieutenant instinctively looks to his notebook, but does not take it out.
May the 13th, '08. 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
Dark magic?
The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower.
He gestures towards it.
Huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
He looks east.
A terrible shame still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
You didn't go to the map room?
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened at the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
He looks at the sky. What was that?
Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Seen what?
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know.
What?
That the bourgeois are not human.
That's definitely enough for now.
The old man does not say more. Those black eyes of his keep piercing you as he looks to some great distance and shakes his head slowly, retreating from it.
What is this place? This island?
It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
What was it used for?
The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world.
You mean the landing? Retaking of Revachol?
Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
First, I'm not one of them. The coalition military? Someone who has come to end this madness? Let's go with that one. Someone who has come to end this madness.
Iblis,
Bliss?
the black-eyed angel.
How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Now hold on there.
What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
He coughs once more, then puts his hand on his belly.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
We have Dramamine and other opioid-based painkillers. You must be in pain. This is a serious situation. You need to be looked over, and we can do it. How have you coped mentally? Let's go with the top one. We have painkillers.
I have been running out of that stuff.
A light goes on in his eyes. He smacks his dry lips. This is a serious situation.
There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund.
How have you coped mentally?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of...
His eyes roll back into his skull and back.
I don't even know what. Inferno?
You notice the lieutenant is about to say something.
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
He looks down at his shoes, his face arched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there, somewhere.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How did you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
He falls silent, his gaze fixed on the shacks huddled together across the water. Why don't you just walk there?
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
The weapons cache under St. Gristle Lane 22B. Point to it. In the basement. You've been there.
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
There were.
Useless now. Rusted away.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
There's a small bunker under the Fell building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
They killed themselves?
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
Tell me another thing.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You said this is your termless surrender.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
We're not coalition appointed, we just try to help people. That's right, we're the good guys. We enforce the law, we keep these animals from killing each other. I know what it looks like, but I have secret plans to turn the RCM into a Marsaverian revolutionary unit. We're here with the RCM, let's leave it at that. Let's go with... we enforce the law, we keep these animals from killing each other.
You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International. The enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans ce land. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
His hand shakes and he breaks into a coughing fit.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
The communards signed the revolution instrument. Surrender.
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
I want to say honourable? Well, that's insane. I'm going to say honourable.
Honor is a feudal atavism. My motive is class.
So you're a communist soldier from the communist army?
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
But you said you were trained and assigned to the Defense Corps.
Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
Wait, what does a political commissar do?
The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the Commune.
The lieutenant says softly.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a knight philosopher of the revolution, a future human.
He was like a cleric, a shepherd.
But you were like a priest?
No, the opposite of that. A future human, not a human of the past.
But that means you were a trained communist, right?
He nods slowly. Then another tremor.
Point to yourself. I'm a moralist.
No, you're not. You're part of the meat shield. The human shield that surrounds the fascists while they kill and rape. That's what you are.
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology.
He then turns to the old man.
We have come to ask questions regarding a murder investigation.
The old man spits into the fire pit. He does not say anything more. A jitter passes his lower body.